Hey, Moto Two here. Okay, today do another video in this series in where I'm addressing uh, new gun people, as in people who have never had firearms before but are now considering it. Okay, haven't done one of these in a while. Uh, these are mainly directed towards younger people, just because I'm a younger guy myself. I'm 21, but really, this information applies to any person who falls into this boat. Okay. So today the video I'm talking about is the simple question at hand is, so you want to get into firearms? Okay, that's the point that we're talking about today. Um, this particular video isn't necessarily as much for people who are still on the fence, like I'm thinking about getting a gun, but I don't really know if I should. Is that safe, right? People who are in that boat, people who are still on the fence, this particular video isn't necessarily for you. I would say check out other videos in this particular playlist on my channel, but this particular video is more directed towards people who have already made the decision, I want to get a gun. How do I go about that? Right? Those are the people this particular video is more addressing here. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right. Another thing I want to say, I'm obviously talking about legal, right? How to do things 100% legally. I'm not promoting illegal activity. Just want to throw that in there. Okay. So this topic is pretty simple, okay? I think it's a lot more simple than people may expect or may realize, okay? There's really only two major things to consider, then one more which may or may not apply depending on the person, okay? So, obviously you're getting into firearms, you're thinking about getting a gun, okay? Gotta be responsible, okay? That's the main thing, okay? Now, there's two ways that you need to be responsible, okay? Legally and safely, okay? So, you want to know the laws, okay? You want to read up on the laws, learn what they are, know them, follow them, okay? So, first of all, you gotta ask yourself, can you legally own a firearm, okay? Some of us don't have criminal records. That's great. Others do, and in that case, if you do have a criminal record, that may or may not prohibit you from being able to legally own a firearm. Okay, you're going to want to figure out what your status is there. To some people, that may be obvious. A lot of people, though, are shocked to find out they're actually a prohibited person because, sometimes they just don't realize, right? So you got to figure out, can you legally own a gun? Okay. Beyond that, federal law, state law, local law regarding firearms. You got to learn about all that, figure out what it is as it applies to you, depending on your state, city, or whatnot. You got to figure out those laws, right? Definitely read up on those, okay? So there's the legal aspect. You got to learn about all that. Got to know it, got to follow it, okay? And then the safety aspect, okay? Now, as far as learning how to use a firearm and learning how to use a firearm safely, there's a few options, okay? One is you can book a class with a firearms instructor. There's lots of great firearms instructors doing great work, okay? Now, there are a lot of bad firearms instructors out there, okay? So you definitely want to find a good one and, book a class with them if that's the route you choose to take. But I understand a lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people can't do that. Okay, so another option, maybe you know somebody who's a gun person and are good with firearms, right? Maybe you could have them show you the ropes. If that's not an option either, there are lots of good instructional videos here on YouTube. Okay, YouTube is not the best choice for learning about firearms, particularly firearm safety, but there are some good videos on YouTube, right? If that's your only option, then roll with it. But, firearm safety is rooted in the four basic firearm rules of four basic rules of firearm safety, rather. And I'm going to run down those now, so feel free to take notes, okay? Number one, treat every gun as if it is loaded at all times, okay? Number two, never point a firearm at anything you're not willing to destroy, all right? Number three, keep your finger off the trigger at all times until your sights are aligned with the target and you've made the decision to shoot, okay? And then number four, know your target and what is beyond your target, okay? Those are the four basic rules of firearm safety. That is the root of firearm safety right there, okay? So you're going to want to learn those four basic rules, okay? Memorize those four basic rules and utilize those four basic rules at all times. Again, that is the root of firearm safety, okay? So that covers safety, that covers laws, okay? So, and those are the main two things. If you've decided to get a gun, you haven't got a gun yet, got to learn the laws, got to learn about the safety. Those are the two main things, okay? I could end the video here, okay? But there is one more thing. This particularly is going to apply more to the younger people that may be watching this, right? Which is the social aspect, okay? Particularly, with like Gen Zers, but a lot of millennials as well, right? Most of these people are very anti-gun, okay? And not only are they very anti-gun, but they're very, they're very oriented towards, if you don't have the same opinion as me, I hate you, right? Like, that's a lot of these people, unfortunately, they have an opinion on something. Nobody else is allowed to have a different opinion without being just a terrible person to them, right? I don't know why exactly that is. I think it's very unfortunate that is the case, but that is how it is, okay? So, also, group think is a big factor, right? A lot of people, particularly younger people, engage in group think, and then anybody outside of that is just some kind of freak or whatever. Okay, what I would say to that is, be your own person, okay? Don't be afraid to be your own person, okay? Be your own person, have your own opinions, okay? If somebody wants to disagree with you, that's great, right? Have a respectful conversation with them, right? But you got to keep in mind, sometimes in life, there's going to be scenarios where you're not going to change this person's opinion. This person's not going to change your opinion. Got to agree to disagree, okay? And agreeing to disagree is a good thing. It's a big part of a civilized society. But unfortunately, it's very lost today. There's very few people today that are actually going to agree to disagree. Very few people are doing that. What it usually turns out being today is, like I said, oh, you don't agree with my exact beliefs, I hate you. Like, that's unfortunately the mindset of a lot of people today. And you just got to keep that in mind. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is, right? Don't let it get to you. Like I said, don't be afraid to be your own individual person. That's what I would say on the social aspect, okay? So that covers, be responsible in order to be responsible. Know the legal aspect, know the safety aspect, okay? Additionally, I covered the social aspect, which will apply to some. And that's really all there is to say on this. Like I said, a pretty simple topic, more so than some might have expected. Obviously, I could have went on for an hour about this, so I didn't hit everything, right? So feel free to let me know in the comments any further questions you have on anything I mentioned or anything I didn't mention, okay? Anything else you want to say, don't be afraid to let me know either. Okay, if you want to continue seeing videos on my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Other than that, I'm going to get out of here. Goodbye.